Even if God and the devils forgive them, I never will. In the recent manga chapter released in Black Clover, chapter 263, we got a statement from Noct talking about the gods and devils forgiving the Dark Triad for the malicious acts they have committed, and that he didn't care if they did or didn't because he would never forgive them himself. Now, some people are saying this is coming out of left field, that there are no gods in Black Clover, and that adding them in now, or at the least mentioning them now, is kind of late into the series, and with some even saying that this is Tabata writing himself into a hole. Well, that is, in fact, very silly, but it's still very understandable if you believe that, as it has been very subtly built up and foreshadowed that there are actually gods in the Black Clover universe. So I'm going to go over all of these hardline concrete facts and mentions in the story, then I'm talking about some of these secondary facts that add credence to the gods existing. So we're getting to that, but I do want to mention, guys, I do have a fitness channel called The Hall of Gains. So if you're interested in fitness, exercise, diet, please subscribe to that channel, and that'd be really great if we get that channel over 500 subscribers. That'd be awesome. Now, one of the very first statements I can find that refers to gods in the Black Clover universe is in chapter 47 of the series. This was during the Yami and Patri fight in the cave. In this instance, Patri states that the power of the elves rivaled the gods, and that humans worship them like gods because of their seemingly divine-like power. With elves seemingly knowing gods and how strong they were based on what Patri says actually makes a ton of sense, especially when you add in stuff like the Apostles of Sephiroth. The Apostles of Sephiroth are stated to be elves that are special and receive divine revelations. This means they are receiving revelations from some sort of deity. Again, adding credence that elves should know about gods and goddesses since they receive divine revelations. Since Patri himself was an apostle of Sephiroth, and he was the one who made those direct comments and statements about gods, that adds a lot of credence to them existing in the Black Clover world. Another big statement here is from that of Vanessa. She actually brings up that there is a god or a god of fate or gods of fate in the Black Clover universe. She also mentions a sentient version of fate in a way, and the fact that, fate chose to affect Asta in certain ways. Basically, it's like the god of fate, they made it so Asta wasn't born with magic, because he'd be unstoppable if he was born with magic. This is huge because it shows that not only are there a god or there are gods, that there are different gods. Gods of certain concepts or domains, like having a god of fate. Now, there's a lot more subtle hints toward there being gods in the Black Clover world. The existence of devils being one of those, as if there are demonic beings of chaos in the world, and there's likely going to be an opposing force of light and order that will go against that. In Chapter 1, Asta are shown to be raised in the church as well, meaning there is a religion being followed among the populace of the Clover Kingdom, and that would imply that some sort of deity could exist. Also, there's multiple realms, and one of those being an afterlife called the Underworld, where fallen souls gather after death. Now, the existence of an afterlife would often imply some sort of god or deity, or at least a higher being that created it or oversees it in its own dominion. There are other smaller things like spells that would hint at a god or gods, like Lux's Thunder God Boots, or Ril's Game of the Gods spell. Both of these could be tied to that of Zeus, but Luck might be more so a hint at Thor, him being called a Berserker, which is a Norse word. Thor is a Norse god, while Luck also wielding gauntlets, which is what Thor is known to wield as well. There are even more hints to gods in the Black Clover world, but I really don't have the time to go through and read the entire manga of Black Clover once again. But, with that being said, there are more than enough hints and foreshadowing of gods existing in the Black Clover world. They've always been there, and it's always just been a matter of time before they are properly introduced into the series proper. Now, this is more so just a short video because I just want to get it done and get out there, because I see these people saying that Tabata's writing Black Clover into a hole because he's bringing in these gods, which all it was a statement. It didn't just randomly bring in a bunch of gods. It just mentioned a god, and then the devils, and that Noct doesn't care if they forgive the Dark Triad. That really isn't writing in a hole. And then, even if a bunch of gods did just randomly show up in the series, they have been foreshadowed. They've been subtly foreshadowed and built up a little bit, mentioned here and again. So that wouldn't be like an ass pull. That wouldn't be a plot hole. It's been foreshadowed. If the gods ever show up, we've already got enough foreshadowing, even if it is kind of subtle. But that being said, that's pretty much it for the video. Let me know your thoughts down below. What type of gods would you want? Would you want Tabata to create his own gods? Maybe take inspiration from other gods, like in the Greek or Norse pantheons, or do you want actual like Norse gods, Greek gods, the Christian god? What do you want in the Black Clover universe? Honestly, I would prefer to have Norse gods, but I think overall my most favorite one would be have multiple pantheons exist at the same time, so you could have Norse gods and Greek gods. I think that'd be very cool. But hope you guys like this video, and I'll have an amazing day. Plus.